Here are 10 unhealthy relationship expectations of somebody with a severe dismissive avoidant attachment style. Family, it is your favorite toxic YouTuber back again. Welcome and welcome back to my channel, Dismissibleme, where I speak only about dismissive avoidant attachment from the perspective of somebody who has had a dismissive avoidant attachment style. So please like, share, and subscribe for more of my content. Find me on Instagram. All of my links are down below in the description box. And getting right into this video, 10 unhealthy expectations of somebody with a dismissive avoidant attachment style for relationships. Numero uno. I was expecting complete independence. I'm expecting to maintain the same level of independence that I had prior to being in a relationship with you, without compromise and I am expecting no emotional interdependence and definitely not any codependence from my partner. I was not looking to reassure you in any type of way. Number 2, having space at all times. I was also expecting to be able to, I don't want to say walk away, but like disengage and have my own space and completely at times compartmentalize and just put you over here for a second while I figure out what I'm doing, or I need a break, and then come back to it. And nobody that's wants a healthy relationship is going to go for that. But here we are talking about dysfunction. Expecting people, especially romantic partners, to give me excessive or what could seem excessive amount of personal space without question or without asking me to explain why. I feel like, and especially as I've kind of been very careful about hand picking my situations, there are certain situations in which I felt like it's already built in. If you live far away, I'm going to have that space because you're not close. You can't pull up on me. It's not like we're just going to go to dinner on an hour's notice. If you live, an hour away, unlikely. It's going to be planned in advance. I'm going to have time to think about it and do all these other things. But I was expecting to be able to have my own personal space, and I definitely would be very annoyed by you asking why I needed that space, or asking me to have less space or take less time away. Totally unrealistic. Expecting my partner to be self-sufficient, taking care of themselves in the way that I take care of myself. If I don't feel like I need to lean on you emotionally, or I don't need you to help me with my problems, I'm expecting you, or I was expecting you, to handle the problems yourself like I do. Like, if I can handle it, you can handle it. You got this. Believe in yourself, because I believe in you, that you got this and you don't need me. It makes me really uncomfortable for somebody to put all of their emotional needs on me. Like, there's a level, even now, as I'm back, there's still a level of, like, there's the interdependence part, right? But there's also a certain level where somebody has to maintain themselves and keep themselves together. That's a healthy balance. Expecting my partner to be self-sufficient, not to rely on emotion, always. Got it. Handling your situations independently like I do. And then that kind of trickles down to not thinking that I needed to reassure you at all. So because I don't like a lot of reassurance, I don't need it. I feel like that's kind of unnecessary. And then sometimes, especially if it's early on and I'm really not trying to put a title on anything, then I'm not in a place where I'm going to want to do that. So no need for reassurance, believing that I shouldn't have to offer or ask for emotional reassurance. So therefore, I shouldn't have to offer that to you because I'm not asking for it. That you should just kind of know where you stand based on this type of conversations that we're having, and looking at the situation as a whole. Like, if we're in a relationship, it should be very obvious. If we're trying to figure things out, we're in the middle, or that's not in the middle, we're not in a relationship, then I'm expecting you to just kind of know, be a mind reader. Again, unrealistic. I'm also was expecting perfection in the conflict management. So if there's a conflict and you want to address it with me, I am expecting you to do it in, this is so ridiculous, saying it out loud, but I really thought this way. I'm expecting you to come at me the right way at the right time, okay, in the right place. It can't be random. It can't be right now when you want to deal with it. I need to be mentally prepared. I need to be emotionally prepared for the situation. I feel like you shouldn't have brought that up. So now I'm going to flaw find and hyper focus on the mistake that you made, and then I'm going to capitalize on it and just create a whole lot of, I don't want to say spinning you in circles, because I'm not going to go back and forth with you for too long, but I'm going to shift the focus of the conversation so that it's no longer about the situation at hand. It's more about the way that you miscommunicated. It's more about the way that you came at me about the situation in the wrong way. You didn't approach me the right way. Your tone was wrong. You had an emotional outburst, because I really don't want any emotional outbursts while we're talking. I want it to be logical and practical and not an emotional thing. So expecting people to just put their emotions to the side and have a logical conversation with me every single time, and again, approaching me in the perfect way that I need and desire, not considering the other party, is also an unrealistic expectation that I have had. Shame, shame. And then there's the unrealistic emotional strength that I'm putting on the other person. I was definitely expecting you to have the same emotional strength or wherewithal, being able, again, kind of going back to that self-sufficiency, you being able to handle yourself and your emotions without me at all. Because I don't need you to handle my emotions. So why would you need me to handle your emotions? There must be something wrong with you that you can't handle your emotions by yourself. This is my thought process. Do I think that now? Not so much. I look at situations individually now. But expecting people to react to situations exactly the same way I do was really a problem for me personally. I was expecting to be very emotionally resistant and never, ever, ever expressing any of your emotional needs. Please don't be clingy with me, and don't show me any emotional weakness, because then it's just like, let me say this the right way. If you showed me emotional weakness when I've experienced that, because it's really only been once, that one particular person, and I dropped, 2 videos on that entire situation. It really was a turnoff. Like, what is wrong with this person? Why are they crying? Why are they whining about something else? Why are they acting like they can't handle a situation? And really, they just wanted somebody to be there. Now, this person was extreme. They had other issues, but there are normal people just want to be able to vent to you, rely on you, and know that, you have their back. And with me, I was like, I got your back. I believe in you. Handle your business. Then we get into no accountability for the emotional withdrawal. And I've kind of mentioned this before with the needing the excessive amount of space, but I'm feeling like if I emotionally withdraw or pull away, you shouldn't have to ask me any questions, because I'm already asking for personal space. I've already been distant. I'm already keeping you at arm's length. So I'm anticipating and expecting you to to understand this madness, and just conform so I don't have to compromise and be a better person. Glad I don't think that way anymore. But expecting you to accept my emotional detachment and withdrawing without questioning or seeking any clarity. And if you question me or ask for clarity, if you would have, I honestly would find it very annoying. Because for me, it's kind of like, again, you should just know why I need space. Or why do I have to explain to you why I need space, when explaining why you need space at some point is normal in a healthy relationship. I don't feel like it has to be upfront. I feel like as long as you know that we're going to have a conversation about it when it's time, when I'm calmed down, when I figured things out at the end of it, or I'm letting you know, like, I need this much time to figure some things out and I'll tell you about it later, that's more appropriate than just deal with it. It is what it is, and handle it. So then there's the lacking of emotional expression, not wanting to be physical with you, hold hands, hug, all of those things, but also not saying, the L word, not reassuring you, not doing any of those things, because I don't need a lot of that. So again, I'm putting this on to you that you shouldn't need this either, especially when I thought my behavior was behavior of a secure person as opposed to somebody with also having a problem. So the lack of little bug flying around me. The lack of emotional expression, thinking you don't need emotional displays of affection, love, or validation, or feeling like it's unnecessary because I don't need much of it myself. Minimizing the time together, minimal time spent together. This is also a very unrealistic expectation. And a lot of this, I learned over time that it's easier to find people where you're already at a distance, so that distance creates an automatic time away, minimizing the time that we have. But also I feel like the minimizing the time that we have together also makes that time more special because it's rare. So I go all in and go all out during that time that I'm spending with you. But I expected you to function just fine or as normal with minimal time spent together, assuming that being physically and emotionally distant was normal and acceptable. And, it's really not. It's not in a healthy situation. And then last but not least, number 10, no expectations or minimal expectations of vulnerability. And I kind of touched on this in the last video, or what would be yesterday's video by the time this is uploaded and you get to see it. I was expecting you to never seek vulnerability from me, or if you were seeking that from me, it had to be at the right time, in the right place, under the right circumstances. Okay, it's got to be a full moon. I have to be in the right space, in the right mood. Did I have a good day? Kind of expecting, being very selfish. I'll say that, being very selfish and expecting things to kind of work on my time, on my time frame in the way that I need it to. So a rundown of the 10 highly dysfunctional, unrealistic expectations of somebody with a dismissive avoidant attachment style. Feeling like I would have complete independence or could still maintain that complete independence while being in a relationship with someone. Space at all times. Expecting self-sufficiency from my partners, especially emotionally. No need to reassure my partner. Perfection of conflict management. Please come at me the right way, because if not, we're just not going to get anywhere. Unrealistic emotional strength. No accountability for emotional withdrawal. Lack of emotional expression. Minimal and minimizing the time together, spent together. And no to minimal expectations of vulnerability. Family, that is the 10 reasons for me. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what resonated for you, especially those of you with a dismissive avoidant attachment style. Like, share, and subscribe. Find me on Instagram, and family, I will be tapping in with you very soon. Keep it real.